Well, welcome to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan Edick Frank, and we're live back at the Grand Champions Polo Club. Field number 3 today for continuing action here in the World Polo League All-Star Challenge. We have a doubleheader for you today, so make sure you join us today here at 4 p.m. We'll be going to Field 1, and that's going to figure out which teams are playing in the semifinals. Remember, this first tournament that we have here always in the World Polo League is single elimination, and that means that it is like a final every time. That can be a little difficult for teams, and that's why they do this, because remember, you're getting your teams organized, you're getting your four-legged athletes organized, so you got to come out ready to go, because if you got to win, you move on. If you lose, you sit back, but does give the other teams the opportunity to sit back and kind of figure out what's going on for the season. This is our 5th season here for the World Polo League. We're very excited about that. Top umpiring crew working with us today. We are going to be doing a proper introduction. We have all our players coming out on the field right now with our mounted officials. Today we are using replay. And so we have Steve Lane, our third man / IRO, working in the CTV studios. And the format will be that each team will get 1 challenge per half. That means 2 challenges in the first half, 1 per team, and 2 challenges in the second half, 1 per team, 4 per game. And then we add in to our umpire crew, managed by Steve Lane, the triggers. And all the triggers today will be to check and see if a goal was scored, to check and see if the ball goes out of bounds, either over the end line or out of bounds, over off a horse leg on a possession play, to check and we'll see if any contact between 2-legged or 4-legged athletes with the mallet or on a ride-off, and to check for any unsportsmanlike conduct. Another trigger that we added last year, we had some great results from, and we are a big fan of this, and all of the players and sponsors that played here in the World Polo League were a big fan of it at the end of the season, was the trigger that we use with the umpires. If the umpires do disagree, we will send that into the CTV Sports Studios, where Mr. Steve Lane will make a call to help the umpires out on the field. I'll be working in the middle, so we'll be breaking this down for you all day long. So it looks like we got our 2 mounted officials on the field today, which will be Pepe Araya and Gaston Dorniak. I would love right now to throw it over to my man, Jan Edick Frank, and the player introduction.
Thank you very much, and also from me a very good morning and a warm welcome here to this, the 3rd match, as Dale was saying, of the first of our 5 WPL tournaments, the All-Star Challenge. Now, we've already had 2 cracking games already played. The anticipation and the excitement over the last week was very much growing, so now also to this, the 3rd of our 4 matches. Dale did say we've got a doubleheader coming for you this way later on this afternoon. So the players, 1, 2, 3, 4 in grey and 1, 2, 3, 4 in white. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to the 2 teams, starting from, I was going to say from left to right. And that, of course, is Casablanca. Ladies and gentlemen, great to see him back in the saddle again. Please welcome the one and only Mr. Grant Ganzi. Coming in, of course, on 3 goals. At number 2, the very strong 6-goaler, this Tomacho Pierres. Good morning to you, Tomacho. At number 3, one of our 6 WPL 10-goalers. Give it up for Barto Castagnola, coming in at number 3. And at number 4, great to have him back at the WPL, the one and only Mr. Jesse Bray, coming in off 7 goals. Over to Pampa Norte, Biotricity, and it's always great to have him back here at the Grand Champions Polo Club playing in the WPL. Please welcome Pampa Norte Biotricity, Mr. Wakas Al-Sadiq. Then we have a 5-goaler coming in at number 2, Santi Javajol. Good morning, Santi, coming in at number 2. At number 3, the 8-goaler, that is Magu Laprida. Good morning to you. And at number 4, a 7-goaler by the name of, you know him, Pedro Falabella. There he is, the 7-goaler with the number 4 on his shirt. The 2 mounted officials, we have Gaston Dorignac and Pepe Araja. And I don't know if you mentioned it already, Dale, but we do have a 6-goal advantage given to Pampa Norte Biotricity. They are coming in a total team handicap of 20. Casablanca, of course, 26. Grant Ganzi 3, Tomacho Pierres 6, Jesse Bray 7, and Barto Castagnola 10. That makes it 26 in my book. And Pampa Norte Biotricity with Wakas at 0, Vajol at 5, and then, of course, Magula Prida at 8, and Pedro Falabella
Yeah, it's this type of polo. If you remember last year, and looks like we're all ready to go to our mounted officials. So whenever they're ready, they'll get it going here. But, Yan, 6 goals. Now, what's the game plan here for Biotricity?
Well, Biotricity surely will want to hold on to that lead for as long as they possibly can.
Yep.
And, play more of a defensive play here and try and look for an
You
opportunity.
think go defense here? I think they go offense.
You think?
I'm going to argue with you. Yeah, I think they need to jump on this, try to go to 8 goals. I would come out on my best horses, really try to put the pressure on this Casablanca team, and we'll see how it goes here because you might go ahead, like you said, but I wouldn't be surprised you don't see this Biotricity team try to come out here early and, really play some of their top. You remember we got the courtesy change in place so they can bring them back, but it should be interesting. So let's see what happens here as they were the sleeper team last year on the move, Falabella.
That's a nice little pass over the halfway line, looking for, that's a nice fed ball to Wakas Al-Sadiq. Yeah, should have opened his shoulders or his wrist slightly at more of an angle there, just not able to hit the target. Well, Del, I was going to say that I think they're going to come in with more of a defensive mindset and look for an opportunity to then counter-attack very quick. That's what I'm thinking. But now on the move here with a hammer ball from Castagnola, looking to feed it up to Jesse Bray. We have a 2-man horse race straight away. The 2 number 4s, Bray up against Falabella. And one thing's for sure, Del, both of these teams not wasting any time in setting a pretty high pace here in the first of our 6 chukkers.
Oh, no, very fast up and running game. And as you said, Field 3, the field have been immaculate here. They've done a lot of work to bring awesome fields to even a higher level. Great field crew working on the field. We noticed that on Field 2. If you watch our broadcast on Sunday, was amazing. Over 27 goals scored. Frank, are you kidding me?
No, it was, listen, Sunday was the first, or for me coming in back here, it was the first day, the featured game, and as you said, it was an absolutely phenomenal game of polo, and I can only urge you.
And then they come back and make it a 1-goal difference, as the Travieso team was really getting beat by 3, 4, 5 goals, and it came back so strong, but with good field, the best horses, best players in the world, we know that they can score, 3 goals in under a minute and a half. So no problem.
And with that being said, there looks like we might have our first score here now for Casablanca. The man with the number 3, Tengola Castagnola, gets the first whistle and the first open goal penalty here for Casablanca. And I'm sure that'll be a walk in the park, and it is indeed. So the first penalty 2 there in favor of Casablanca, making it 6-1.
Yeah, this is what Biotricity definitely wants to watch out for early on. Don't give the penalty lineup, especially to Barto or Tomacho or Jesse Bray, because Jesse Bray can hit him from center. He's the big hitter. I mean, this team lines out really well. This team, this Casablanca team, is as strong of a 26-goal team that I've seen in a long time. And coming out the back door, Barto.
Castagnola once again on the move. That's his second touch. Will he do it in 3? What's he going to go and do here? Slightly sent it over to the left. A little bit too much power here on that second shot. But again, Casablanca, and I think that's something which I meant also about the defensive strategy. They need to start very quickly winning those throw-ins.
Yeah, dodging a bullet here because, that would have been a 2-for-1, as we called it Walmart's blue light special. You get the penalty shot, then you come to the center. That's how these teams have been scoring 3 goals in under a minute and a half, is they're getting penalties, winning bowl-ins, and then getting the offensive attack. So let's see if Biotricity can capitalize on their 6 goals. On the move, it's going to be Santi.
And he gets a hook just as he wanted to send that ball up to the front door where Casa was already in situ. Tomacho Pierres very quickly on the turn, turns things around. He's got a man on, leaves that one behind. Clever play here. Tomacho leaves it for Castagnola, not able to control it. He got a little bit of traffic coming in there from the right-hand side from Magula Prida. So Biotricity doing very well here, regaining possession of that ball. And you can see Casablanca standing very deep. And you have a two-man chain of defence here. Nicely stolen. Over the halfway line again, and again they're coming in very early. Nice little pick up there by Leprida. Left behind for Tomacho. Tomacho saw in the corner of his eye there that Castagnola was a little bit unmarked. But they are quick. In comes Javajol. Turns it around. Got no one up front. He might go for the long ball, or he might just try and stick a ball it through if he can. But Tomacho Pierres puts an end to that attack. Turned around once more. Now then. Yeah, we were just waiting for that whistle to come. As Grant Ganzi turned, to me, Dale, it looked like already on that line was Pedro Falabella.
Yeah, just bad luck here for Granty. I mean, we got to go. That was, I guess that was Jesse Bray, no? Well, whoever came right in on the Casablanca team. Now, the first call they allowed to go. And if you looked at it, you might say, wow, well, they're running the goal there. The ball, they're running evenly. Like we talk about two players running even down the field. This 26-goal polo, if you're running even and the door's not moving, the window's not moving at all, there's not going to be a whistle. So that was a perfect call. This play here, Falabella actually establishes himself on the right-of-way. Then the ball actually goes by him, and he's already established on the right-of-way. He's not moving from right to left. If Falabella was moving from right to left to get onto that right-of-way, as the Casablanca player was, then they wouldn't have been a whistle there because the distance was very similar to the call that they let go, the non-call. But two different calls, so we just want to make sure we emphasize that to our viewers, is that if you're in line already and that window's not moving, that window stays the same, then you can make a play on the ball.
Of course.
You know, you can get in there and steal the ball. And that's what happened on the first one. On the second one, like I said, we had a Casablanca player moving from left to right. Falabella already established. And then he's closing the window, and he only closed it with a little bit, as this has been a very fast open chucker. We will be using the courtesy change. And, of course, everybody knows the courtesy change. It is a tournament condition now with the United States Polo Association. So if you'd like to use the courtesy change at your club, and, of course, for safety of the four-legged athletes and the two-legged athletes, it has worked very well. Nobody moving now on this play right here after the courtesy change. So they're going to drop the ball at the 100-yard line for a penalty 5A, and it'll be Falabella.
Takes the shot, looking to send it out to he did to the left-hand side for Javajol. Runs into a bit of traffic once again. No, not wasting any time. Castagnola picks it up. In comes the challenge. Just avoids that first hook. Again, clever play here by the 10-goaler. He's got Grant Ganzi up at the front. Now also going up there was Tomacho, Jesse Bray. And as you say, a big hitter here. Sends it now deep into the half of Pampa Norte Biotricity. There's the backhander from Falabella. Sends it back to where it came from. But very quick again on the turn. And a nice return to sender here from Tomacho Pierres. A little bit of space. Nice control again by Castagnola. Just biding his time. Very clever player as well, Castagnola. And he's now within shooting distance. Just wants to get into a situation where he can open those shoulders and take a shot. Yeah, fakes what looked like possibly a backhand. So, as you can see, a Biotricity. And they know, of course, of the combination and the incredible skill. There is a shot on goal into the danger zone. Grant Ganzi just a little bit too far out, and that ball will just go over the back line.
Yeah, maybe a little miscommunication here by Casablanca because Barto had that ball going on to him like LeBron James in basketball. When LeBron gets doubled or tripled, he finds that open man. He had Grant Ganzi and they had Tomacho kind of following behind him, but they were letting Barto do his thing. They got to ask for that ball. Barto will leave it. Then they're wide open, two guys coming. So a lot of that's going to happen today is they're going to go ahead and try to double and triple Barto and understand why.
Well, one thing's for sure, Dale. So far, we've only had one whistle, one penalty. It's been a very, very flowing, open game. Jesse Bray with a cut shot. Has he hit the target? Oh, it just went wide. But again, this is where Biotricity need to be careful. And look how deep Casablanca are standing.
No, they've been putting it in there. They've been shooting that goal, but now they're starting to get a rotation. Remember, this Casablanca team's a new team. They've had some practice games, but now, see, Barto, he got the work on once they double team him again, leave it for the other guy. Nice shot on goal by Bray, just off the left.
Biotricity on the move once again. And it'll be game over here. A little backhand comes off the pony there, off the player with the number 3. Magula Prida, and again, they're not getting out of their own half here, and this is what I meant earlier about, playing that defensive strategy, because obviously when you're 6 goals down, Casablanca will be putting everything forward to try and make a dent into that number 6 from the word go.
Yeah, they've been shooting like a shooting gallery here in the first half, in the first chukker anyways. Remember, we will have our stats at halftime, so we'll be able to talk about it. But at the moment here, Casablanca controlling the game, but missing the goal.
Yeah, I think that's just down to a little bit of fine-tuning. I'm sure we'll see that ratio, that hit-on-goal or hit-on-target ratio and scoring increase throughout this game. And there is the horn, the siren, 30 seconds. A little deflection there, a little bit unlucky. Tomacho Pierres has teed up nicely. Grant Ganzi. Ganzi, can he put the second goal on the score before they go and change ponies for the first time? Well, just ever so slightly puts it out to the left, and that, of course, will conclude the first chucker. So just that one goal, Dale, here, courtesy of Castagnolo with a penalty too.
Yeah, that's going to be a good start. At least they're chipping away at the 6-goal handicap. Remember, 6-goal handicap given to the Pampa Norte Biotricity team, so this is a good sign for Casablanca. Their offensive attack was so strong they really didn't need much defense, but they did a good job not allowing them to score. So we'll send everybody off for some fresh four-legged athletes. And thanks for joining us here for our first of 2 World Pole League All-Star Challenge. And we'll be right back here on CTV Sports.
World Polo League, a new breed of polo.
Well, welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan Eric Frank. Jan, tell us about the team they're playing today.
Indeed, Casablanca out there, the team in the dark grey shirts with number 1 Grant Ganzi playing off 3 goals. At number 2 Tomacho Pierres, a 6-goaler, and then we've got one of our 6 10-goalers gracing us with their presence here in the WPL this year, and that of course is Barta Castagnolo, the only man to have scored so far in this third All-Star Challenge WPL game. And of course at number 4, great to see him back, the man with the 7 goals to his name, Jesse Bray. Pampa Norte Biotricity in the white shirts here, as always. Wakas Al Sadiq playing the number 1 position. He's at 0 goals. At number 2, Santi Javajol, the 5-goaler. On the ball just a few seconds ago. And then we've got Magula Prida at number 3 of 8 goals, and Pedro Falabella playing the back, playing off 7 goals. And as we said, Del, we've seen a pretty interesting and quite a very fast-paced first chucker. And that's a nice long ball down the field, and it's going to be met by Mr. Bray, and he took a swing, tried to finish it with 1 hit, and that, of course, is what makes the WPL so incredible to watch is this one-touch polo.
Yeah, it's amazing, the open 26-goal style. And we have seen this 26-goal league just grow and grow and grow over the last 5 years. And our first 3 games were just amazing, so super fast and open style, and very clean games, as they have not had many fouls. All teams coming in very organized and ready to go, and the umpire team also very well organized, so it's been a great start.
And they're trying to get, and they have for the first time in a long time, Dale. They're getting deeper into the opposition's half, and that's a cracking goal here by Biotricity, Pampa Norte Biotricity. Just combining a very nice play here, and that is a solid goal.
I think Magula Prida. So Magula Prida going to go ahead and pick up the first goal and add to their 6 goals on handicap. As remember, a 26-goal team against a 20-goal team. But if you remember last year, this Pampa Norte Biotricity team, they were a 23-goal team, and Yan and I talk a lot about them. They were the sleeper team. They pushed every team they played against to a goal. They did not win, but they were on fire, being a lower-rated team working that handicap. This has been a strong part of Casablanca, though, winning the bowl-in, and look at this, it's going to beat Tamacho.
Pierre is on the far side. Oh, slightly topped it. Could have really finished it on the one shot. In comes Ganzi to finish what he started. And Jesse Bray, third time lucky, 3's a charm. Jesse Bray puts the finishing touch on that play. And this is what Pampa Norte Biotricity need to be careful of. They are so quick, Dale. And 1, 2, 3 misses. But there is always going to be that extra player coming out of nowhere to seal the deal.
Yeah, Casablanca's going to get stronger every chucker. I know this Pampa Norte Biotricity team, they have their own polo setup where they play the Biotricity, the Pampa Norte Biotricity polo farm, so they do practice a lot. They have been preparing, but this Casablanca team, as this is a new group playing together with Grant Ganzi, with Barto Casanola, Camacho Pierres, and Jesse Bray. He's played with all of these players individually, but not as a selected group, so I think they're going to get stronger every chucker, every minute, every second of the game.
Indeed they are. We have a whistle over on the far side. I can see player with the number 2, Santi Javajol, just making the most of the fact that he's, well, not quite near the pony lines, but just to get himself a fresh set of legs. And now you mentioned it, Dale. I think this is going to be a key part strategy of Pampa Norte Biotricity to, whenever they can, bring in those fresh horses.
Yeah, so you get a little spin play over on the boards over there, and there were a couple turns over there, but the second turn was a control play by Magoo, and then it looked like Bart Casanova came in there to steal it from him. Now, the good thing for Biotricity here, Pampa Norte Biotricity, was that Magoo had turned the ball around and was actually heading back towards his goal when Bartos stole it. So that's going to move the ball down to the 60-yard mark. If he was stuck on the boards, facing the boards, going off the field, it probably would have been a spot hit. So a very smart play here by Magula Prida to spin that ball around quickly, establish yourself, and then just wait to see what happens. Casablanca gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and this is going to be the first goal shot penalty in favor of Pampa Norte Biotricity. 60-yard shot penalty for, and it looks like it's going to be, I think Santi is teeing this one up here. Yeah, I'm not sure who hits their penalties. They might switch it up a little bit, but it is going to be Santi.
So let's see if they can restore that 6-goal advantage. I mean, Casablanca came back very, very quick after that goal was scored a little earlier by Magula Prida. So all the players back out on the field, just waiting for the umpire to call play. And there it is, you could just hear it, and you're absolutely right, spot on, Dale. Santi Javajol will try and restore that 6-goal advantage with a penalty for. Well, it's definitely high in the sky, but you can see the goal judge there just waving the flag down, so it went out to the right. It is rather windy, especially the higher you get up there. It's a perfect day here in southern Florida, here in Wellington. Temperatures have gone up again. We were down to about 23, 24 degrees yesterday, and it's gone up to 28, or it's forecast is to go up to 28, 29 degrees. I'm not quite sure what that is in your language. I think it's the low 80s.
Yeah, low 80s, but beautiful weather. He said a little blustery, blowing. You know, we are in the tropics here. So, but I don't think that big of a difference there. Just a little bit of a mishit to right. It is blowing from the east, so it did go to the right. So you are right on that, Yan. But we did have the wind was blowing harder on Sunday, and we saw 27 goals scored. So I don't think it bothers them that much. I think more when it's running north and south on this field, because running into the wind or running with the wind, definitely easier to run with the wind, but on the move to Macho.
Pierre is out in front and out on his own. Nicely tucked behind now. He goes up. The rotation working very well here for Casablanca as Jesse Bray has a chance to open those shoulders, take a shot, and a little bit unlucky again here as Tamacho Pierre is the second man coming down that line. So Pampa Norte Biotricity once again dodging that bullet over in the far corner. Trying to get a little bit of space, but again, out of nowhere comes Castagnola. Just toying here with Pampa Norte Biotricity. Yeah, little steal. Magoo Laprida with a bit of space to work. And there's the long ball, the long pass down the field. Jesse Bray coming back, and again, you see he is a worker. Castagnola sends it back, extended, one touch again by the number 2, Tamacho Pierres, and with 2:18, a whistle.
That'll stop the clock here with 2:18, as Yan just said, on the clock, to be precise. Remember, 2 challenges, challenge per team here. We'll get a good shot on the replay as they come around here. Barto backs that one up cleanly, and then players came together there, and a little bit tight on the drone action again, as he said, with the flying. Remember, get the wind blowing pretty good. So they're going to talk this one out. And you might get your currency change here also. And you will, yeah. You're going to go get the currency change here. So they'll go ahead and set that one down right here with the 5th season, Yan. Maybe highest rated tournaments, 26-goal polo in North America, outside of Argentina. Very special.
Very special. Not only outside of Argentina.
Nobody thought it'd be so special at the beginning.
No, but
and now it's just grown to be just an amazing league. I mean, the players, the horses, the sponsors, just unbelievable how it's grown. And remember, the second would be 22-goal that's played, and really around the world. Because after they play in England, they play in France.
22 exactly is the max, and if you think about it, Dale, you just said 5 years. It's incredible how quickly 5 years has gone.
Oh, it's amazing. You say, blink your eyes. I mean, it's just blown by, and we have so many tournaments that'll be being played, during the season, as the World Class League, runs through April 16th, and the league was here to preserve. It was there to preserve high goal polo. At a level, and it's rich tradition, and that's what the WPL has done. Back to the action here, they're just going to go to a bowling, so no foul on the play. And Barto goes Jesse Bray, who's got the horsepower here. Jesse Bray, he's going to push Falabella over. Jesse Bray, and the center flag.
Yeah, well, we definitely got a flag.
Was that a center flag, or that flag was kind of a mediocre flag?
Yeah, flag and a whistle.
Very tough play here in front. Maybe I want to look at this one. Remember, this is the trigger. We're going to get a good look at it here on CTV Sports. Jesse Bray does get out in front. Oh, I see it. Magoo come flying over. So I think the ball went through there, but he's going to foul Magoo. So we'll see what they decide to do here. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So Falabella pushes Jesse a bit over the line. A great shot there on CTV Sports from the drone. Magoo picked up the right of way.
Gotcha.
So Jesse came back from left to right. He actually does make the goal, but a penalty before the goal. That's why we were seeing the meet that center flag. And look at this. It'll be Barto.
Castagnola once again just Well, it looks like he's having a lot of fun out there, creating the space he needs to do, and exactly what he does. What he loves to do is find opportunities, drills one into the center, or into the safeties, the danger zone, I should really say. And once again, Pampa Norte, Biotricity, slightly on the back foot here. Maybe now a chance for them to break. Going up the field there, you can see Waqas Al-Sadiq. There's the pass. Will he wait till... he's going to let the ball come to him. Good pick up here, but already... And now you talked about that window, Dale. There was exactly that situation. Already on that line, firmly established, Castagnola.
Yeah, no, Waqas was there, just comes from left to right, and you might as well go for that one. If I was Waqas, I'd tell him to go for it too, because Barto has to go from left to right. Don't want him to go right to left, but Barto, very quick, very keen, as you said it. He is a keen player, has, taken himself to 10 goals very quickly. Son of Lolo Casanola.
Who, by the way, who's here, by the way? I saw him earlier.
Lolo's in town. Yeah, it's good to see Lolo, of course. Son, brother Heta. And actually winners of the Argentine Open, not last year, but the year before. Runners-up this year. So congratulations on 2 Open fun. But here you go, Jesse Braid. He's good from anywhere.
You said it, Dale, and there's that drive down the center. Tamacho try to get a piece of it, but once again, good defending here by Pampa Norte, Biotricity. And straight away back into the thick of it. Castagnola fighting for every ball. As you said, Dale, a very, very keen player, but also a very, very clever player, not technically absolutely outstanding. And now also the number of whistles are picking up here in the second chukker.
Yeah, so a little bit of a defensive battle going on now, but you figured we'd see this. Especially, you thought you'd see it in the first chukker. And really, and I think our stats are going to show that, Yan, at halftime, that Casablanca just missed the goal a lot at the beginning of the game. They controlled that first chukker.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I think they had like 4 or 5 knockouts. We'll see it at halftime when we see our stats. But, now I would think that the Pampa Norte Biotricity team would try to flip it around. Let's go back to a man-to-man, a lot of racing and rubbing, and try to get a little closer and then get the offensive attack off that, because best defense is your best offense. As I say, that defense wins championships, and they're doing it. And they're holding them here to a 1-1 scoring in the second chukker.
Yeah, as you said, 1-1 and only 1 goal in the first chukker. So it's not been, the campaign that we might have expected to see.
They might be winning, right, on the way you wanted to coach the team. We'll battle our coaching skills today. I thought they should have went offensive, but, we'll see what happens here, as we are going to get a uneven ride-off in a penalty 5A, and Grant Ganzi, double G working hard over there with Jesse Bray. You got your 30-second horn. Now everybody battling out. Magoo's going to get a piece of it. Looking for, Waqas Al-Sadiq. That ball is going to go out of bounds, and that'll end our second chukker of play. So, with a 6-goal handicap, Jan Addix Frank, his coaching skills are at a higher level than mine today, because his team is doing well on his suggestions of playing a defensive side. And right now, with the score of 7-2, they are doing a very good job. But we will see. There is a lot of chukkers left, mucho tiempo, so stay with us, and we'll be back for our third chukker of play.
We're here at the Santa Rita Polo Farm, where the PTF Polo ASSN Junior Tournament is being held for the first time ever at this location. And I mean, could you get a more beautiful venue? Probably not. The tournament includes players of all ages, starting with the youngest at just 2 years old and the oldest at 20 years old. So you've got all ages, all skill levels, and a whole lot of fun. Let's go check it out.
reminds me of my days when I was in that position playing the kids tournament, and for us it meant the world. So I'm very happy to be here supporting my son and other kids as well, because I think they really enjoy this, and for them it's even more important than for us probably playing the 26 or the 22.
Well, that's a wrap on the PTF Polo ASSN Juniors Tournament at the Santa Rita Polo Farm. So much incredible talent coming up through the ranks. The future is certainly bright for the sport of polo. Now, for more information on the PTF, head to polotraining.org. And of course, head to Chucker TV for all of our awesome content, including full game broadcasts.
All right, here we go. Third Chucker action, 8-team single elimination tournament. Well, we feature 10. Leanne was talking about it. 6 10-goalers, including Pampa McDonough, Barto, who's playing right now, Juan Martin Nero, Hita Casanola, Barto's brother, Paulito Piedras, Sapo Casad, who played really very, very strong on Sunday, and then 4 9-goalers, Candelito Piedras, Juan Martin Zubia, Francisco Elizalde, who played very well in his first game, too.
Yeah.
And Nico. Play well. I mean, everybody's playing very well. All the sponsors, everybody. And this is going to build. And remember, this is just the first tournament. Our remaining WPL tournaments are the Founders Cup, the Palm Beach Open, the Tommy Hitchcock Legacy Memorial, Triple Crown of Polo, and what's down there in South Beach?
Well, I think the key's in the word there. Beach polo, Dale.
You got to get your bathing suit on, get your tan on.
I have
But
indeed.
you know what's great is you have the Triple Crown of Polo and that right around the same time, so you can come spend a good couple weeks and enjoy the Florida sun and Grand Champions Polo Club and a little bit of South Beach.
Indeed. And indeed also, as we were just talking about the South Beach polo coming up, we saw another cracking goal at a distance coming in from Barto Castagnola, picking up his second goal of the match. Great play here. Again, just taking his time, just hammers one down. So they are now slowly, and you said this, Dale, they are slowly starting to hit the target. Now it's the turn of Tomacho Pieris. All of a sudden, looks like Casablanca are on a bit of a roll here. So Pampa Norte Biotricity need to keep their wits about them. There's the open backhand. Just clear it as quickly as you can and hope for a chance here for a counter-offensive. And that's exactly what Pampa Norte Biotricity are doing here. On the move, Jesse Bray in hot pursuit. Over on the far side, needs a little bit of support. He's going to try and run this one in himself. The man with the purple helmet goes for the near side backhand shot. What a cracking goal, Dale Schwetz.
Okay, golazo Falabella, and wow. But this is a great learning situation for any player. Watch Falabella, number 4 here. Jesse Bray gets in position. He taps it a little bit too far, no problem. Just hit it by. And he actually set that ball up to go for that near side tail shot. This is a que golazo, Pedro Falabella. I mean, this is just perfect execution. And that near side tail shot is not a hard shot because of where the ball was placed to the far post. Awesome goal. On the move, Barto.
Castagnola. Well, we've seen it a couple of times. Every time they go back and score one, Casablanca, within a matter of seconds, come up with a very quick answer. But, Dale, this is exactly the strategy that I was talking about. Stand deep, look for the opportunity, and then break away, and that's exactly what just happened.
You got to try to turn that little defense into offense. If you get away, fine. You know, just with me, and I know Lolo's probably down there coaching them. I mean, Jesse Bray's wearing a 4 today. This guy's a super strong back, man. I mean, and then you got a full 4 rotation with Double G. Grant Gansey can play anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's played with the best in the world, you know. And then I think it's just them getting their little. And also, we have seen Tomacho Pierres. I was sticking ball with Tomacho Pierres. I was working with the polo school last week, and I was on the field with Tomacho Pierres, and he is playing super solid polo, Tomacho, on 6 goals. Very fit, good shot. Big shout out to his dad, Afonso, former 10-goal player, Argentine Open winner, and everything. But so it's a strong team, man. This team's going to get. You know, you got to keep them lined out. Here comes Barto, though, on the open goal penalty 2, and that's an easy one.
And that is his second penalty too. And this is what you said earlier, Dal. This is not what you want to do, is give away those kind of penalties on goal because they will penalize, they will punish you for it every time.
Yeah, this is what hurt the Travieso team on Sunday. And all of them agreed. They just got caught up in some, melee plays. First game out, very strong team. And I'm looking forward to see that team is going to get stronger too also. And great to see Teo Kaye in the Travieso team here. But if you in this league, you got to be careful of those goal shot penalties, Jan. Give up the penalty 5s, but be careful of the 2, 3s, and 4s.
Well, if we look at the way that they've been holding, and they've been doing a very good job here at Pampa Norte Biotricity. Remember, they came in with 6 goals. They've managed to keep Casablanca more or less at bay. Now, if they can get this over the halfway line after the end of this chukker, then, of course, they still have a cushion of 4 goals to go into the second half.
Okay, so this is tough right here. And the problem with this play is, remember, when a player is getting on a breakaway, you're in the middle of the field, and this ball is going to get moved all day long. I like the ball placement here. But the player came in front of one of the Casablanca players, which was Jesse Bray, and then he had to give Jesse one play. And after he crossed over the right of way, then he made a hook. And so they're going to move this one down for the open goal because that would have been a true breakaway. And here comes Barto once again.
Yeah, he makes it look so easy. Barto picking up his 3rd goal here in chukker number 3. So that cushion, and I just spoke about it now.
3rd penalty 2?
Yep.
3 penalty 2s and a hat trick Barto picks up on 3 penalty 2s. And you need to be careful. You can't give up those open goals. This is what gets a team back in a good groove, and those are easy goals for the 10-goaler.
So what was a cushion of 6 goals is now shrunk to a cushion of 3 goals, and they've won the ball in again, and that is something which they need to start working on. They need to talk about that when they come back here for the second half, because Castagnola wants to show that he can do what he's already done once, and that is goal number 4, Dal, his 2nd out of regular play. Incredible.
Well, his brother scored 5 in one, so I guess Barto says, here we go. And I know what Papa does. I know Lolo very well. I love him to death. Lolo Casanola, he's down there. Go ahead, guys. He's going to get it. But this bay pony right here that Barto Casanola is riding is, whoa. You got to love this one. Because they're going to go into the courtesy change here. And Barto knew that, so why not? He took the penalty shot. And after the penalty shot, he grabs the bowl in. And then he knew that he was going to get ready for a courtesy change. So drop the hammer and let's go to goal. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see this one come back somewhere in the end.
So 3:40 on the clock, Dale, and interesting also looking at the stats on both teams. Only 2 players so far hitting the target. Jesse Bray, of course, for Casablanca, and then already a total of 5 goals coming to you from Barto Castagnola. Pedro Falabella with that cracking goal that we saw. I will give that a coast to coast because it was literally from one end of the field to the other. And, of course, Magu Leprida. Those are the only 2 yet who have scored for Pampa Norte Biotricity. Courtesy change, as we like to remind everybody, especially the players, 45 seconds is the sort of benchmark that within which we'd like to see the players come back out on the field. And they are very quick in doing exactly that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we are ready to play the remaining 3:40 on the clock. Biotricity winning that throw-in, and that could be a chance here for Leprida. Going up the field was Pedro Falabella. It's still all happening on the halfway line again with the number 3 battling it out hard. He's got 2 Casablanca defenders/attackers who now can turn that defense into offense. So it was very short-lived, that possession play. That's a nice long ball up to the front for Grant Ganzi, and Grant Ganzi will probably just need the 1 touch. Or maybe 2. I'm sure he won't be fussed. And that is his first goal here in chukker number 3.
Yeah, and this is great for the Casablanca team. Is now not just Barto coming alive and getting his penalties just 100% today with 4 penalty 2s, but also hitting the long ball. And Jan, that ball just flew right by the drone. I mean, if you're watching CTV Sports, everybody saw that. You saw High hit that ball. That ball flew right by the drone. And Grant, great pickup as he pulls that one in, which wasn't an easy pickup because that ball was popping on him a little bit. It went so high, but a great finish. And watch out, Casablanca on the move here in the third chukker.
So the question, of course, is, Dale, with 2.5 minutes left to play and the number of goals they've scored in such a short period of time, they will probably have set out to try and get the equalizer by the halftime break.
Yeah, no, this has been a super strong chukker for them. They have built and built on every chukker, and great coaching down in the Casablanca tent. But as I said, still a lot of pole to go here. Turned around quickly and controlled by Magoo.
Leprida decided to go for a long-distance shot. He's got Wakas at the front door. Oh, what a cracking goal here. Leprida out of distance, a good 70, 80 yards. Picks up a crucial goal to once again restore slightly that advantage.
Yeah, perfect timing by this goal by Magoo. That is a very strong play. Leprida flipping it around in between two Casablanca players, finding the open space. Magoo, of course, father 10-goal player, Argentine Open winner. This guy is super strong, the whole family. And Yaki, love him to death. Great to see Magoo playing here in the World Polo League. And look at this. Pampa Norte Biotricity coming alive here at the end of the third.
Yeah, what they're doing, which is what they needed to start doing, is winning those throw-ins, and that's a nice combination once again. Here we go. Pampa Norte, they're not going to go without putting up a fight on the move with the number 4. Pedro Falabella. Falabella puts it in. Magoo finishes it off. So, beg your pardon, that of course was Magoo Leprida. And with that also, Dale picks up his third of the match.
So here we go, courtesy change, right? You have a team score 4 goals on you. They go to the courtesy change. Magoo Leprida had just come out on fire of a 4-legged athlete, and he's showing you how to get it done on his little chestnut mare right here. She is a little bitty thing, but man, she has got a burst of speed, and that's giving Magoo opportunities, and he has done a great job. Look at, they're going to win another bowling.
And that's exactly what they need to do, and they've, well, whether or not they can get another score, which would be ideal. We're down to the last 40 or so seconds here, but they've got possession, and that's instrumental now here at this stage of the game. So I'm sure Wakas Al-Sadiq will be happy with the overall performance here. But look at this, another break. We have the horn, and on the move is Castagnola. Barto Castagnola just steering that ball exactly where he wanted it to be. Now, Dale, that is goal number 5 in this chukker for Barto Castagnola. So, of course, with that goal, we had the horn go a few seconds earlier. That concludes the end of chukker number 3. And look forward to Dale, who's already in situ, who will be bringing you the stats now of this first half. And be very keen myself to hear what these stats are all about.
Thank you, Jan Erik Frank. What a chukker by Barto Castagnola. 5 goals, man. It shows you how quick you can do it. Good horse, good field, good horses, great players. Let's go to stats. 10-8. Remember, 6 goals on handicap given to the Pampa Norte Biotricity team. But look at this stat. Jan Erik Frank. 13 shots on goal, only 5 taken by Pampa Norte Biotricity. That is a huge stat, and we keep an eye on that stat. Knock-ins. Well, it makes sense. Only 1 by Casablanca, but 5 by Biotricity. But when you take 13 shots, that's not bad shooting. Throw-ins, very even, 6-6. And we noticed that. It was like one chukker was the Casablanca team. The other chukker was Pampa Norte Biotricity. Fouls committed, pretty even, 4 and 5. 4 committed by Casablanca, not bad, not bad. And then 5 by the Pampa Norte Biotricity, not bad. That's not bad. Those are good stats for both teams. And but penalties scored, and this is where Casablanca was very strong, 3, and they were actually from the penalty line, and they gave up a lot of 5, so a good job there by the Casablanca team not to give up. I think they gave up the 1 penalty for, that was a 1 goal shot penalty, and that becomes a big stat also. Well, thank you for joining us here. We're going to have a little bit of a halftime break, and we'll be right back for our second half of the 2023 All-Star Challenge.
My name is Augustine Malman. I am a chef. I trained with my uncle in Argentina in several restaurants, and now I travel the world creating unique experiences, all cooked with fire. For this event, we came from California. My team and I had some previous events there, and we traveled with my wood oven trailer and all of our grills from Santa Barbara, California. Well, when we got here, we always arrive about a week prior to the event. There's several things that we order from out of town, like the firewood. We make reservations of all of the rental items, kitchen equipment, anything we need prior to our arrival is already reserved. And then once we arrive into town, we'll source out whatever products are on the menu, like fish, red meats, fruit, vegetable, anything that we need specifically for that menu that we chose. We will source it once we get in town. My team is everything. I mean, I always tell them and to my clients, without a good team, you can't execute these kind of dinners. It takes a lot more work than what people see when they show up to the events. It takes, like I said, I mean, sometimes weeks to prepare for an event like this because we're traveling from out of town, so we have to source everything we're not familiar with. The new barn is, I mean, we're here. This is the first dinner we're doing here, so we're very excited to be here. It's amazing. It's a great place to be, and it has this inner courtyard, which is amazing to do dinners, with a special area back here behind me to do all of our grilling and the fire showcase. So it's great to be here. It's a beautiful place. Very different being up in the mountains, but I mean, I feel with Melissa and Mark and all the events we do together, I mean, I feel like it's home. You know, we've been cooking for them for about 4 or 5 years now. But as far as showcasing what we want to showcase and being in an incredible place like Aspen Valley Polo Club, that's no difference to Wellington. I mean, it's a beautiful place up here. It's going to be a 4-course seated meal. As the first course, we have a halloumi cheese that we sear on our fire plancha with shrimp, pine nut gremolata sauce on top. The second course seated will be a roasted beetroot salad with goat cheese and arugula, lemon zest and olive oil. And then the main course tonight will be a mashed potato, sweet potato puree with skirt steak and chimichurri sauce. My name is Augustine Malman, and we are in Aspen Valley Polo Club, one of the most beautiful places to do an outdoor fire dinner experience.
Welcome back, everybody, to CTV Sports. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan Edik Frank. We're live Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 3, World Polo League All-Star Challenge. Continuing action here. Now, in our first game, we had Dazzle Lafayette. They played against Santa Rita. Junkie Larkin, and it was 13-9, and I got the interview with Melissa Ganzi, and she just said, that there's some team, they had to work out a few niches there, and the team was very confident, though, and she thought Dazzle came in, though, very, very organized and ready to go, and which was Louis, Robbie, Fran, and Nico, and they did. And then you had Brookshire, who had Travieso, and I got to interview Teo Calle, the Travieso. He's playing with Teacher Merlo Sapo, Cassette, Nacho, Navija Estrada, and I like that team. They actually just got caught up in a lot of defensive melee plays inside the 60, and they gave up a lot of open goals, but they actually worked it back and only lost by a goal against Scott Woods, Pipe Virgilino, Paulito Perez, and Hero De Carrero, who got MVP that day, Yan. And wow, my he was unbelievable on 8 goals coming from the number 4 position. But tell us a little bit about how they move on here, Yan. We have Casa against Pampa Norte Biotricity, and this afternoon we'll have Richard Mill against Audi.
Indeed, and Brookshire will play the winner of the Richard Mille versus Audi, and that'll be the first of our 2 semi-finals. And of course, as you just said, Dazos Lafay will play the second semi-final, which will be the winner of this game, Casablanca versus Biotricity. And whilst we're waiting for the players to come out on the field, let me just tell you, and this of course will be the 4th game of the All-Star Challenge this afternoon, 4 o'clock, of course, here on CTV Sports. Richard Mille. Now, remember, Richard Mille, of course, they won this back in 2021. Audi, of course, the winners in 2022. So these 2 former champions will be up against it this afternoon. Richard Mille, led by Gilberto Sayayo. Gonzalito Pierre is the 9-goaler, and then we have Pablo McDonough, another one of those 6-10 goalers, and at back, playing off 7 goals, the gentleman both on and off the field, Alejandro Novillo Estrada. For Audi, as always, led by the Cobra, Mark Ganzi at 1, and then of course a brother of Barto who's playing, and right in front of me now here is Heta Castagnola, another 10-goaler, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this team because they've also got Nick Roldan and Fred Mannix, and of course Nick Roldan and Fred Mannix, they played together in San Moritz and did a fantastic job. It was the debut appearance of Fred Mannix in San Moritz, and of course Nick Roldan, who's no stranger to the frozen lake at 1,800 meters. So to see those 2 boys play together with Mark and Heta looks to be a very exciting game. Remember, that's coming this afternoon at 4.
Yeah, I'm interested into it. We saw them; they were in the VIP on Sunday, and we got to talk to everybody. Actually, the Cobra, Nick and Fred. Not Heta, but they were fired up, ready to go. So that should be a very strong game. Make sure you join us today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here we go, second half action. Remember, Casablanca, Grant Ganzi. We have Tomato Pierre, Barto Castro, and Jesse Bray. And then we have Pampa Norte Biotricity with Wakas Al Sadiq, Sante Vegelo, and Falabella, Pedro, and Magu La Prida in the white.
And over on the far side, it is, of course, the man with the white helmet but the grey shirt, and that is 10-goaler Barto Castagnola. And as you said yourself, Dale, in that halftime stats, interesting stats. As always, a big thank you to our crew in the CTV Sports Studios for providing us with those stats. And I'd also like to give a very special shout out, Dale, to our segregate mum. That, of course, the one and only Lady Sharon Robb, providing us with all the intel that we need. And another goal, a quick goal here, starting off the second half, chucker number 4 for Casablanca. Tamacho Pierres, and with that goal from Tamacho Pierres, Dale, correct me if I'm wrong, but that means all 4 players, Casablanca, now on the score sheet.
No, I was just going to tell you, that's what I liked about this, is that Tamacho comes out and scores. That means the 4-man rotation is clicking, and clicking early, and it's going to be Double G on the move.
And Grant Ganzi, well, he'll be looking after he had a big chance just a few moments ago at the south end of the goal. Not able to finish it. Looking for his second goal of the match. But as I say, all 4 players now, Casablanca, on the score sheet. And they're closing in on that 10-9 lead. Remember, Pampa Norte Biotricity came with 6 goals in hand. They did a very good job keeping... well, a little bit of an advantage. It was 2 goals. It shrunk down to 2 goals at the halftime break. But this Casablanca now revving up and wanting to, of course, get this done and dusted. And as you said rightly, Dale, this is by elimination, so this is kind of like a final here. And as I said, the two semi-finals due to take place here on Sunday. You might just want to make a note in your diaries. Sunday, the 26th of February, is when we will have the first WPL final of the All-Star Challenge 2023.
So we're going to get a whistle on the play here, and this is well read by Tamacho. He meets the pack, but Tamacho, very keen play. And you'll see this. This is a one-hit shot from Jesse Bray, and this is a set play. Tamacho, he hits it right to him. You know, Steve Crowder, and we were talking about Crowder. Jason played in the 8-goal, 12-goal final, and a one-hit shot there. And Crowder used to set this play up. Find a player, Yan, that you want, and like a goalpost, hit it right at him, and then have him meet it. And if he meets that ball cleanly and then changes the direction of the line, then nobody can make a play on it. And right here, Jesse Bray, perfectly executed, hits it straight down the field, only about 40 yards. Tamacho meets the ball, changes the line to a 45-degree angle. A Biotricity player comes in front to take it, and now you got an open goal penalty. And we're going to go and use the Kersey change here, but when they return, it looks like they might be knocking on the door here for the equalizer.
Indeed, I think they will. So quite an early courtesy change here in the fourth chucker. Remember, the high goal here is played 6 chuckers. And, well, you said it yourself, Dale, and you're so right, you're so spot on. That courtesy change, it's a little bit like in a Formula One team. It's like, when do you decide to come in and get a new set of tyres? When do you go in, or when do you go out to try and get a quicker, a faster pony? And of course, there is a real science and a strategy that both of these teams will be implementing here as to when exactly they do that. And maybe Pampa Norte Biotricity were thinking, you know what, Casablanca just getting a little bit too close for us here. We need the horsepower to stop them from, what shortly will be, I'm pretty sure, 20 goals, 10 apiece.
Well, I definitely think that's why Magoo jumped on the little chestnut. But here comes Barto again. Clean Barto, and he's going to pick up goal number 5 from the penalty line. 100% on his penalty twos. Good shooting.
Yeah, overall, that is his 7th goal of the match, and there we have it, the 2 10s on the scoreboard. Clock's ticking down, just a little under 4.5 minutes left to play. But wow, Dale, just once again looking at that previous chucker with a goal from Grant Ganzi, 5 goals from Barto Castagnola, 6 goals in total against 3 by Pampa Norte Biotricity, twice Magula Prida hitting the target, and of course Pedro Falabella also with a goal.
You know, it looked like they're going to run away with that third chucker there for a while, Yan. You know, they did score. I mean, 6 goals scored by, or actually 5 scored by Barto himself, the 6, one by Grant. But, you know, the 3 goals by Pampa Norte Biotricity, not a bad comeback really in the third. Here we go on the bowling here. They have, looks like a dicey little play right
very dicey. I mean, there really couldn't have been much in it there.
Yeah, on the middle of the field here, the ball actually comes through. Grant Ganzi takes it out. It comes across, and then they shoot across, so one player comes from right to left. And this is the play that I was talking about earlier. You have a ball that gets hit down the field, and now you have 2 players kind of coming towards that ball. One from right to left, look like Falabella, and then Grant coming from left to right. Grant lesser angle, though, all day long. And then we're going to have the Biotricity, Pampa Norte Biotricity player falling over the right-of-way after the shot. So remember, the right-of-way does continue after a play. And when you do shoot over, like on the highway, I always compare it to driving your car down the highway. For any of you new viewers or new to the game of polo, you cannot impede the cars on the highway. If you go down a 3-lane highway, you need to pick your lane. And if you do shoot across too quickly, it can be dangerous. And like, on a highway, you know, there is a space, you know, the safe space. Well, on the field, it's two horse lengths. And that was definitely way closer. Grant Ganzi riding that out. And because he was riding on the offensive attack, they're going to move this ball from the center down to the 60. And Barto will get his first opportunity at a penalty 4, 60-yard shot. Here comes Casanola.
Oh, well, he's hammered that, Dale, but it's gone wide. He's just put that one wide. It had a lot of power, a lot of bite to it, and I think that, again, here, maybe the wind just getting a piece of that ball.
That's the same place that I think Santi hit at too on his first.
Correct.
He only had 2 penalty 4s today, and one by the Pampa Norte Biotricity team, Santi. He tried to hit one. It landed right in the same spot, so that eastern wind is definitely causing commotion.
On the move now, Casablanca, left behind. Jesse Bray gives it back to Castagnola. He wants to do everything right this time with a little run on goal. Bray sends it back up to into the danger zone. Did not get enough power on that shot now then Ganzi. What's he going to do? Takes the ball around the outside. Wants to avoid all the traffic. Clever play here from Ganzi. Still Ganzi on the move. Yeah, they just got one too many players. Pedro Falabella just putting his stick down, avoiding Ganzi from getting that final touch. And the ball is still in the danger zone. Oh, it's just gone literally. It's just shaved the front of that goal mouth. And now this is what, well, I was hoping to see a little bit more of. The breakaway here for Pampa Norte Biotricity. On the move. Cheeky steal by Bray. Comes in. Everything above board. They're all on the sideboards. Yeah, fighting hard. Number 3, Magula Prida. Can he try and get a little bit of distance? But once again, just to do a bit of housework here, is, of course, the number 3, Castagnola. Tomacho sends it back. Saw that he had 2 to choose from. And clever play here from Castagnola. Jesse Bray just trying to keep the Vampires at bay to allow Castagnola to walk this one through slightly wrong-footed. It's all happening in front of that goal mouth. In comes the shot from Tomacho, and he will put that away any day of the week.
Yeah, great rotation here. I know Lolo has got to be very happy over there coaching these guys. The rotation for Casablanca has gotten stronger and stronger every chucker. The last goal they went down there, everybody was working so hard. And you got to give credit is due. Pampa Norte Biotricity did save it and brought it out, but then they took it back in. And as you said, trying to keep the Vampires away, they were trying to keep everybody away. And still doing that, they missed, but they lined out so well that Tomacho had an easy beach ball goal there and just hammered that one from the 30-yard line, picking up his second goal today.
Ball back in play. Oh.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao to the World Polo League host Mark and Melissa Ganzi. I would like to congratulate the both of you for the opening of 2023 polo season in Florida. Thank you also for welcoming my best friend Mikey Romero and his Global Port team to the Grand Champions Polo Club to compete in the highest level of polo in North America. I wish you all the best of luck during this season, and God willing, I can come and visit Florida to meet you also and cheer for our Global Port team. God bless everyone. Stay safe. Know that God is good all the time. Thank you. Mabuhay.
Foot golf, it's a kind of life, and also it's a combination about golf and football.
So I got into sport through social media. Someone approached me on Twitter and said, have you tried it? I'd never heard of it at that point. So I went to my local course and tried it and just completely fell in love with the game.
This is not as easy as it looks on your body. It's a lot of kicking. We don't normally kick this many hard kicks in soccer.
For me, this and the US Open are the 2 top US tournaments. It's something we all look forward to every single year.
Great fun, and I think everyone will enjoy it when they try it. You can't not have fun.
When you set goals at the start of the season and you're able to achieve them at the end of the year, I think I can speak for everyone and say when we set goals and we make the sacrifices that we make, which a lot of people don't see, and then it all comes to fruition, it's a good feeling.
I literally live, breathe foot golf.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. We're going to go ahead and we got everybody cleaned up. We had two players come together here on a ride-off. And Pedro Falabella, he's fine up. And very athletic individual. Most of these players are very athletic. So we did have two players ride-off. Uneven ride-off is called. This is a trigger. Remember when two four-legged athletes come together? Two-legged athletes on any kind of ride-off or bump, you could call it. It is called the ride-off in polo. You can't be too far in front, too far behind, less than 45 degrees, the same similar speed. We had Pedro at a standstill when he had contact with one of the Casablanca players. So that'll move it to center for penalty 5B. And here comes Pedro.
Falabella with a nice ball straight through the centre. Oh, look, he's found Magula Prida. Laprida trying to finish that long ball that came through this. The near side backhand with a shot on goal, but again, a deflection, and Casablanca, I was going to say, back in possession, taking it around the outside. Santi Javajol trying to put it through, and there he is, as always, to be found, working so hard. Oh, nice little cheeky opportunity here in front of goal. Why did they not put that one through? Well, he's coming down the line of Laprida there.
Bad luck there, huh? They come through a lot of bad luck, back and forth, but on the move, Barto.
Tamacho just leaving that one. Here comes the ball. Tamacho taking out the number 4, Pedro Falabella. We've had the first horn. Now then, will he hammer this one in? Well, you'd think he might be looking to take aim, but he wants to get a little bit closer. Still Castagnola. Yeah, not able to pick up that shot, and with that whistle, a right-of-way infringement, that will be it for chucker number 4.
All right, so, of course, anytime there is a penalty inside the final 30 seconds, they'll play that penalty in the following chucker. So, we'll send them off, and now we got a match going on here, 11-10, as we get to our fifth chucker. Stay with us. We'll be back. Continuing action of the 2023 World Polo League All-Star Challenge. Fifth chucker action, the polo school is, rocking and rolling right now. So if you want to learn how to play the game of polo, now located in the former Pony Express facility. If you all remember the Pony Express facility, Bob Daniels, big shout out to the family. And it operates in Wellington, January through May and September through November. Standalone USPA sanctioned polo club, the polo school, is thriving. It is dedicated to teaching polo to all ages, particularly grassroots youth. Its mission is to provide individual opportunities in polo at every economic and ability level. So, and I have people ask me this all the time because you don't need to know how to ride. We'll teach you how to ride. And also we have all kinds of different riders that do different disciplines. And when I say that, jumpers, dressage riders, we have men and women, and young men and young women. So You can bring your families out. So please come check out the Polo School. And you can always get information on the Polo School at gcpolo.com. And looks like we're ready to go. So we are live. So Gaston Dorniak. And you can find Juan Bellini and our general manager, Cale Newman. Their phone numbers are on that website. Just check with them. Here comes Barto on the open goal. Penalty 2.
Well, that's to be expected, Dale. He won't miss those. So another goal from the penalty 2 spot here for Barta Castagnana. And just to latch onto what you were saying, Dale, something which I think is so unique that, from what I understand, only Grand Champions offers is the Polo on Demand.
Yeah, the Polo on Demand, most unique program in the world. Brainchild, Melissa Ganzi, she thought up a good 7-8 years ago. And this is built into just a fabulous program at all levels, and that was something I didn't think they'd realize. But it was all levels, just at the beginning level. So if you just want to come ride, you can do the Polo on Demand program, or if you want to play on a full team with a full string of horses, you can talk also to Juan Bellini and Cale Newman. They will set you up with the Polo on Demand program all day. Jesse Bray.
Yeah, he's going to enjoy this one, Dale. He's going to, slightly overshot it. Can he? Yeah, he can with the putter. Just making my heart skip a beat there. Jesse Bray making goal number 2 here. Remember, he scored in the second. Gave it a miss and chucker 1, 3, and 4. But he's back strong here with an opportunity. The number 4 player, Jesse Bray.
Yeah, 8 scored by Barto, 2 by Tamacho, 2 by Jesse, 1 by Double G. And great rotation here by the black jerseys.
So, 13 goals to 10 now. What does that magic number always tell us, Dale? You always like to mention that number 13.
I mean, Memo Gracita was very happy the next day if he played for him. Because he loved when the offensive attack. It means your offensive attack. And Adolfo will tell you the same thing. All the Heigl players, Facundo, it doesn't matter. All of them will tell you. Barto, Heta. That number seems to work in the game of polo based on the amount of minutes, the amount of bowl-ins. And it's just been a number. If your team is scoring 13 or more, then your offensive attack is definitely working well.
So do you think that's where the superstition 13 comes from?
I don't think so. I'm not very superstitious myself, but some players are.
Touch wood.
Touch wood. They say, man, you put the goal, score goals, win the game. That's what it's about. Get those W's. So, but we've noticed that also. And, we've seen, and now it's going to another level. I think you're going to see that 13. Remember, that was a school of Memo Gracita, and you could call that the old school of polo. I think, Jan, if you want to go back, they're the elder statesmen, because now all of their sons and grandsons are playing, not just the sons, but we're seeing a lot of the grandsons play. We saw Cacho Merlos out at Grand Champions the other day with his sons and his grandsons playing. So you'll see that change. I think you're going to start to see a lot more goals. The game is sped up. The horses have sped up. Everything has gotten to a higher level, and we get a whistle on the play to stop the clock here with 5:28 on the clock, 13-10, as Casablanca extending their lead. But they're going to get caught here on a right-of-way violation, as Jan Frank was just pointing out. You'll see this one right here on the penalty shot. That ball gets hit down the center. There's actually a little bit of a miscommunication here. I thought Tamacho might have hit it. If Tamacho would have hit an open back shot there, Barto was off to the races. So just a little miscommunication there. He actually saw Barto coming, so he allowed Barto to meet that ball. But if Barto just would have cleared across and didn't make a play on the ball, and Tamacho hits a 5-yard back shot, then Barto's on his way. So they'll work that little play out, but it is going to be an open goal. And so it is going to be costly. And it looks like Magula Prida lining up for this one, for the open goal penalty 2. Here's Magoo.
As you rightly said, Dale, a much-needed goal, a very important goal, because in that previous chukker, 3 unanswered goals by Pampa, Norte, Biotricity. They had that situation also in the first chukker, so where they had 1 unanswered goal. And if you add those two together, that's a total of 4 goals. Currently, there's only 2 goals in it, but a very important goal here, as you rightly said, for Magoo Leprida.
I think Camacho actually probably could hit that ball anywhere, Yan, after looking at the replay on it. They'll replay it back, though, check it out, Just get that, work that little, and a good read here by Magoo. You got to give it up to Magoo, pushing that play, not getting caught up, because a lot of players, might have thought, well, okay, Camacho's going to back that ball, so I got to go back on defense. He was the last guy back. So good read by Magoo to catch the foul. Back to the center here. Missed bowling, so they'll flip it around, and they'll give the ball to Pepe Raja on the far side. And picked up Barto on the fly. He's going to get caught here. That ball's going to angle coming more across the field. Out of 45 degrees. Good positioning there by Pepe and Gaston. Nobody going anywhere on this one, so they'll just drop it from the spot. Penalty 5A. And you got to go for this one if you're Barto Castanola.
Of course.
You never know where that ball could have lesser angle for him. And you're not getting caught in a bad position here on the penalty shot, and it's going to be Pedro.
Falabella, play is called. Knocks it into play. Now then, hasn't got many choices. And on the right-hand side there, Magoo Leprida. Yeah, now the whistle's coming in fast and furious for a little over 4.5.
Now shoes on the other foot here. As I was talking about earlier, Camacho and Barto getting caught by Magoo, and now Barto and Camacho getting Magoo caught in the center. And it looked like Barto was going to make a play on that ball, but he left it for Camacho, which was a keen play, which means the other player coming across gets caught on the penalty. So they'll drop this one from the spot. Once again, as they're going the opposite direction, nobody running home for an offensive play. Penalty 5A, all day Jesse Bray.
Taps it into play. Wants to get a little bit closer, maybe get it over the halfway line. There's the daisy cutter out to the left-hand side. They're trying to constantly feed those balls over to Castagnola. Nice little return. And now Jesse Bray going from offense into defense. Little backhand touch. That's all it was there from Camacho. Coming chasing down the line once again, Jesse Bray. And another whistle there. A lot of traffic coming from a lot of angles there on that play. So the umpires just cautioning, or rather just explaining, I think, to the man with the number 3, Castagnola, what went on that play. As I say, a lot of players coming from a lot of angles. Now, could we possibly have our first challenge of the game? Remember, there was no challenge in the first half. Both teams just getting on with the job at hand. The umpires so far, as always, and we do have some of the world's best umpires here in at Grand Champions Polo Club for the WPL, doing an outstanding job. So with that 4:14 on the clock, we're in the 5th chukker, and as Dale is currently talking to the studio to see what the IRO, Steve Lane, is being able to see frame by frame on the screen, we'll come back with an answer to that. Now, of course, if the challenge is overruled, the team lose that challenge. If, however, the challenge stands, then, of course, they retain that challenge. And only one, of course, in the second half. A challenge cannot be brought over or carried over from the first half into the second if your team or if you haven't used it. And as Dale will always tell you, it's always important not to have the person who actually played the play in which that challenge was called for him to make the challenge. It's always quite good to have the captain or somebody who is a little bit more of a peace of mind to then actually make the decision whether or not that is the right time to make that call for said challenge. Obviously, emotions and adrenaline running very high at all times. But it looks to me like the umpires have made a decision there. Once again, Araja, Pepe and Gaston Dorignac also just comparing notes as to how they saw the play. But it's about as good a time as any to make use of a challenge. And it looks like it's going to be an open goal penalty 3 in favour of Pampa Norte Biotricity. So, chance for them now to come back within 1 goal. But Dale, I believe you've got an update for us.
Yeah, so we had basically the umpire disagree on a call. Very difficult call. Trying to figure out whether another mallet had gone under and hooked up. And so they could challenge the umpires. One had it against the white, one had it against the black. So they went to the IRO, Steve Lane, and he could see very clearly that it was a cross hook against the Casablanca team, a cross hook. Remember, you are allowed to hook a player on the polo field. You can only hook a player when he's making a play on the ball. So you can't just ride down the field like you're jousting and grabbing everybody's mallets and pulling them out of their hands. That's one rule. You must be on the same side that player is making a play on the ball. So you cannot reach behind the horse, underneath the horse's belly, or underneath the horse's front legs. And in this case, we did have a cross hook on the play, and they get the open goal penalty here.
But Magoo not lucky. Not lucky. That would have made it the full half or the full dozen here and brought them within one goal. So I'm sure he will not be happy that this opportunity was a huge and a missed opportunity. And that, of course, once again means possession and a knock-in here for Casablanca. And that's a nice long ball over on the far side, looking to feed it to Tomacho Pieri. So maybe Magoo Laprida will try and run this one himself. Wants to, of course, redeem himself. In comes Santi Javajol to lend a helping hand. So they're still able to put the pressure on. Casablanca still in their own half. 3.5 minutes on the nose, Dale. 2 goals in it.
Yeah, that's a big play that you want to make those. I mean, if we go back here and just do the math, this missed penalty puts them right in there, and this is where they want to be, being a 20-goal team against a 26-goal team. Yeah. You just want to be, keep it close. Basically, your line of coaching. My line of coaching was, again, I told you, I thought they should have came out the first chucker on all the best horses and try to get 8 goals up, if possible. Really put the pressure on. But at the moment, those penalty shots are going to come back to haunt them.
Ganzi picking up that ball. There's the nice open backhand. He's looking for what he saw in the back of his head. He's got a great sense as well. Ganzi, and a chance now, a breakaway here for Pedro Falabella. He's got 3 Casablanca defenders right behind him. Nicely done, avoids the first one. And, he's not happy with that. The umpires, again, just letting that play unfold. And play continues. No whistle to the dismay.
I kind of like the non-call here, Jan. I mean, Pedro's grabbing his horse and trying to stop the whole time. I mean, you're going to get one here, but I don't know what he's seen there. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But when you're shutting your horse down and people are running by you, you can't have any danger.
Negative play.
No, negative play. I mean, he comes across a little closer, looked like there on the video. So Pedro might have a point. On the video, definitely looks a lot closer than it did on the naked eye, looking at the field. On the actual going back and forth. So they'll be able to break that one down and take it back. He took it to the inside, and then they're going to get caught right there. And this is a good call, as Magoo's going to pick that one. The other one is a good one to talk about, though. They'll go ahead and tag that. That's another thing we have with CTV Sports, is that our instant replay official, Steve Lane, has the ability to tag a play, maybe a non-call, all the fouls, the ones that are right or wrong, because of course, everyone's only human. You do missed calls, and even on the video can be sometimes be read. So we can go back and look at plays like that, and to perfect the umpiring, and also it helps the players to understand what plays that they can make and cannot make. And so that was very successful last year. So they'll tag those and go back and look at them again, break them down, look at all the angles, make sure we're not missing something, as it is a game of inches out there. And on the quick plays like that, especially in fast polo at a 26-goal level, especially the speeds that these players are playing at, clocking horses running 36 miles an hour, and so handy. And I got to give it up. Pedro had very handy horse on the play that he was a little bit upset about there. He did take it back in to the right side. It looked like he had a little more distance, so on the drone looks a little tighter, so might have a point there. So they'll look at that one later. But they're going to get one back here anyways. So in about the same position. So penalty 4 coming, and it's going to be Santi.
Chavajol, and again, that's the second one, Dale. That's 2 penalties that they've missed here, and that could have and would have made all the difference. A penalty 4 that was.
Yeah, the second penalty 4 they missed, but they missed 3 penalties.
Yeah,
they missed the open goal, just missed an open goal also. So 2 this chucker.
Yeah, and that is well, again, that'll come up in the stats, of course. Remember, we will be bringing you, or Dell will be bringing you the after-match stats, which I think is a great thing also, of course. I hope you, the viewers at home, are enjoying these stats. And again, a big thank you to our crew at the CTV Sports Studios. Now then, let's watch Gansey. Picks it up on a bit of a bounce. Gansey, will he go for the under the neck? Yeah, slightly topped it a little bit. And that ball, I fear, no, it's still in play, but only just. He's got a man on, the man with the number 4, Falabella. Gansey, as I said, having already scored once in chukker number 3, still very much in hot pursuit for his second goal of the match. So a little over a minute and a half left to play, Dell. We're in chukker number 5. A very good afternoon if you've just joined us. It's been another one of those cracking WPL games. You are, of course, watching the third match of the All-Star Challenge, the first of our 5, and this year in the 5th year of the World Polo League. And with a minute and 20 left on the clock, another whistle will stop the action.
Yeah, this is good polo. Biotricity, Pampa Norte Biotricity coming around the corner there. They're pumping it up. They are coming out very strong. I like the group of horses that they played here in this second half of the 5th chukker. Pedro looks like he might go change up or get on a new one, but he takes the ball across the center. I love the way he's got Pedro Falabella plays on 7 goals. He's a hustler. He took that ball into the right side. Jesse Bray comes from right to left and actually falls over the top of the right-of-way. And a good call by the Mount officials, and they're going to move this ball up the center. And I think Santi actually changed out. Remember, you still could change. You still could do the NASCAR change whenever you like. The addition of the courtesy change, you can add as many horses as you want. So I think I like this good move here by Santi and Pedro. They're going to switch up for this last minute 20. Good time management, professional plays here by these two players. They changed it, the courtesy change, and now they jumped on 2 fresh ones here, knowing where they're at on the missed penalties. So they're going to try to get one here. Here comes Falabella.
From the halfway line, he's going to want to drill this one deep into the half of Casablanca. Good pick up here by La Prida, and another whistle, Dale.
Yeah, bad luck. Looks like we have Magoo going to the near side, and you are going to get a challenge on the play here again.
Okay, so this is definitely the half where we've already had one challenge. Challenge number 2 now coming up, and again, this is about as good a time as any. A little over a minute left to play here in chukker number 5. And I think this time our IRO, Steve Lane, has had not such a difficult task to evaluate and to assess exactly whether or not a foul was committed or not. I can hear in the background Dale just talking to said IRO, third man, Steve Lane, who I think has definitely got 3 eyes, because some of the things he sees, now of course he does have the technology in the studio, are absolutely incredible. So the fountain of wisdom, that is Steve Lane, will be very, very accurate and very precise in determining whether or not a foul was committed and whether or not that challenge stands or whether it is overruled. So do bear with us a few seconds here, as the umpires, of course, are waiting to get the feedback, of course, with the technology that we have in place here. And it's just a formality, but as I say, Steve Frame able to look at all the different angles that are available. The center cam, of course, the 2 end zone cams as well. And then, of course, always a very useful tool is our drone. So, Dale, tell us. Yeah,
so you have a player. Remember, there's no right of way on the near side, the left side of the pony. So great play by. We had Casanola come in there on the offside. Good read by Barto. But then, just to be sure, based on that play, because it was a challenge, to make sure the ball placement was perfect. You want to make sure that Falabella was still back. Now, Pedro Falabella took the penalty shot. He was still back on defense. So, the penalty on the right-of-way violation is not a true breakaway. If there was nobody back, that would have been a 60-yard shot, open goal. In this case, because Pedro was in the vicinity, they go to center. So good job, good work by the three-man team.
So Jesse Bray will take this awarded penalty 5B from the centre, and there is what you mentioned earlier, Dale, the man that can hit literally from one half of the field all the way down and maybe a couple of yards, 5 or 6 yards out, and that would have gone through. So a cracking shot here by Jesse Bray. Let's have a look at the clock. We are down to the last minute of play here in Chukka number 5, and Falabella trying to get that ball back up to Laprida. Left it behind for Javajol. Rotation working very well. Javajol has got a clear passage. Can he just outride Tomacho Pierres? Clearly not. And once again, Minister of Defence here, Jesse Bray, finds himself and his team deep in their own half. Tried to give it to Castagnola. Oh, he didn't time that well. And Magula Prida with a little under the neck just to finish it. There's the backhand shot. They're trying to get that oh so much important goal. Oh, and it's gone through. Falabella picks up the very, very, probably for me, one of the most important goals of this game, Dell. Finally, after several attempts, they get the dozen, they get the 12. So it's all to play for when we come back here for Chukka number 6.
Huge, huge play. And remember, we're talking about switching horses up. Santi changed after the Kersey change, and then after the penalty 5 when it changed again. And just great time management, but way to keep pushing here by the Pampa Norte Biotricity team to keep this within 1 goal. So here you go, 13-12. Get ready for our 6th and final chukker. We'll be back. You don't want to miss it. We're live, CTV Sports. Welcome to Chukker TV. I'm Dale Sweats, and we're live at the Aspen Valley Polo Club, the arena here for our Chukker TV Arena Series. Going to go on every Tuesday night. You can join us here.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we go then. 6th chukker action, 1 goal in it, 13 goals to 12 at the moment. Casablanca with, that last chukker was an interesting chukker, was 2 goals apiece. The chukker before that was 3 goals to 0 in favour of Casablanca. And that was the second time that they actually won a chukker to 0. The first, of course, chukker number 1, where they won 1 goals to 0. So, but Pampa Norte Biotricity, and Dale was talking about them earlier on, how well they played last year and how they gave everybody, not really caring who was out there, such a run for their money. And once again here, keeping their wits about them, playing exceptionally well. It was a little bit of a downhill for them in, like I say, in Chukka number 4, but of course I think a lot of the damage was done when Barta Castagnola scored a total of 5 goals in Chukka number 3. Grant Ganzi also picking up a score, so 6 goals to 3 in favour of Casablanca, but you've got to give it to them, as you said, Dale, credit where credit is due. Pampa Norte Biotricity are not going down without putting up a serious fight here.
Now they come on, you see how they're mounted up here for this 6th and final chucker. Otherwise, 6-1 after the first, 7-2 after the second. They had, they were winning, and then 10-8 at halftime. Casablanca did a great job, as you said, in that third, and then the Casablanca team took over in the fourth, 11-10, 13-12 after the fifth. This is anybody's match at this time.
Now, of course, as we are in the 6th and final chucker, Castagnola, Dizzy found the gap. Oh, a little bit unlucky trying to control that ball. I would like to remind you all to make sure that you join us at 4 o'clock here, of course, on CTV Sports. The 2 winners of the 2 previous years, Rishad Mil and, of course, Team Audi, are going to be battling it out in our last, if you want to call it the quarter-final stages, of course, to determine who will be playing on Sundays or in Sundays semi-finals. And you might just want to make a note, of course, the finals of this All-Star Challenge, the first of our 5 WPL tournaments, will be coming on your screens on Sunday, the 26th of February. Now let's go back to the action and see what Castagnola can do here. He's going to send Tamacho Pieris on the way, slightly overshot it to the left-hand side, and that will just run out of bounds. So Pampa Norte Biotricity with, just a little shy of 6 minutes, have quite a bit of work to do, but it's only that 1 goal, Del.
Yep, and they got a little edge here. The Casablanca team still does have a challenge. I like the challenge that the Pampa Norte Biotricity team took. I mean, even though Magoo was on the near side, he could have been a little bit further away, so not a bad challenge. And but Casablanca still has that challenge, and that could come into play here in this final chucker here. That's just bad luck right there. Good back shot by Double G Grant Ganzi. Nice angle, even though he only hit it 6 yards. That's all he needed. Jesse Bray going and turning before he hits the ball. Good polo. Picks up a close play. And this is one of those plays where, the player trying to clear out was just too close for comfort and had a player look up. So kind of an intimidation call, because if a player needs to look up so he doesn't make contact to run into another player. And that's going to go ahead and get them down for the penalty 3 here. So Casablanca will pick up the open goal. And that's the way you turn defense into offense.
So let's have a little look, Dal. Barta Castagnola, 1 goal in chucker number 1. 5 goals, chucker number 3. 1 goal in chucker number 4. 1 goal in chucker number 5. And not that I'm a betting man, but I'm pretty sure he will not make a mistake here now. So looking for goal number 9.
He's been strong, man, today. I like the setup. But they've gone back and forth. Been a fabulous game by both teams, A few misses on penalties by Pampa Norte Biotricity. We got a different match.
Yeah, he hammers that one against the fence. So another cracking goal here by Castagnola. As I say, goal number 9. And with that, they move off from the 13 up to 14. 2 goals in it. And 5:01, more or less, by the time they get back to the halfway line. So a pair of jeans in chucker number 6 left to play.
Yep, you got to win bowlings here. Possessions are big right now. And remember, when we left halftime, it was even. Perfectly even on the bowl-ins. But it all comes down to the 6 chucker and Jesse Bray.
On the move, sends it up nicely, teeing up Castagnola. And look at that pony open up. Castagnola choosing to take and play it with the putter here. 2 of the most elegant of touches. And bang, goal number 10. Matching his handicap for Barta Castagnola.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure, but that looks pretty similar to that Bay pony that I talked about in the first half. He's going to jump off her now. Look at this. They're going to switch up before the courtesy change. So, Casablanca, they're gearing up here. Remember, they still have a courtesy change coming, and Grant Gansey and Barto, they are going to call the courtesy change. Okay, so they're going to call it here. I was saying, wow, they were throwing a little curve in there and mixing it up a little bit, knowing how strong this Pampa Norte Biotricity team has been on their changing of horses. This has been one of the games, first game I think we've seen, Yan, where both teams have been using the courtesy change and then outside the courtesy change also mixing up horses based on the score and different parts of the game where they just needed that extra boost of horsepower. And they've done a fabulous job, both teams, of managing their horses today and the clock. I love seeing that. Such a big part of the game. And I think that's one of the, one of the major procedures that has stemmed off the courtesy change, changing the game, making it more even and making it, all teams, giving them an opportunity to put themselves in a position based on what four-legged athlete they're on. Back in the day, you'd have some players show up with more horses than other players, and they just didn't have it, and it just it equals the field a bit more. And you need to know how to manage it, and the teams are getting very keen on how to use the challenges and the courtesy change in unison. And here we go, back to another bowling.
3 goals in it, Dale, and that's the first time in this match that Casablanca have created a nice little cushion for them to work with. And once again, Castagnola, will he make it more than 10? He's already scored 10 goals, and he looks like he's having a lot of fun out there. And of course, he makes it look so easy, as as most of these players, of course, are doing. Jesse Bray, of course, another one of those powerful 7-goal players. You were going through the names earlier on. 6 10-goal players. I can't remember how many 9-goal players, but we've got it all here at the WPL. And that's a nice pass up to the front. Now then, can Gansey put this one away for goal number 2? 4 9-goal players, did you say? Thank you, Dale. Oh, he's just put that one wide. He's just ever so slightly put that one wide.
I want to give some love here to Tomacho Pietas here. This is Keen Polo. He did a great job working for Barto there. That's something that now you're seeing this team develop. They were on a true breakaway there, and then he worked so hard, Tomacho, to get to his man. He cut off Magoo, and Magoo was going for the races here. Magoo Laprida so well mounted across the board. Him and his brother Iñaki, father was for years, and you need to stop him. And he stopped him perfectly with a clean ride off, very safe. That gave Barto time and gets the offense, turns the defense into offense once again. They've done a great job this second half, using the defense, turning it into quick offense attacks.
Well, it would appear that it took them a good 5 chukkers to finally really break Pampa Norte Biotricity. But you know what? As you said, Dale, you call them the sleepers. I love the tenacity.
Hey, man, 20-goal team and 26-goal team. They've done a fabulous job. We talked about it. Clean up the penalty shooting a little bit. We got a different match here. Don't get me wrong. 2 of them were 4s. And a great job by Casa, not giving up a lot of open goals. And they need to clean that up a little bit, Pampa Norte Biotricity, because they gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open goals, and that's tough. Can't give up 7 open goals.
Not at this level, but definitely a team to keep a close eye on, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing them, of course, play in the next WPL tournament. As you said, Dale, we've still got, of course, another 5 tournaments coming up: the Founders Cup, the Triple Crown, the Tommy Hitchcock Legacy Memorial, and of course the Miami Beach Polo World Cup. But now then, let's go down to the last 3 minutes of play here in what really has been another incredible WPL All-Star Challenge game. And you can see, this is what I like about this team, Dale. They just will not quit until the last whistle, the last bell. And he is on a move here, Pedro Falabella, weaving his way through, and that combination, Falabella and Laprida, of course, always great to see these 2 boys play so well together. And also, I think, compliments to Santi Javajol coming in for Facu Losa, who will we hope very much be playing in the next tournament here for Pampa Norte Biotricity. So lots of action, lots of great polo coming your way, and of course brought to you only here on CTV Sports.
Well, Cas also, doing a great job. Remember, jumping up to the big levels here. Cas, starting his polo out, he's done a great job too. Both teams, remember, it's all going to get stronger and stronger as the games go on. Back and forth there with 1:55 on the clock.
Now, Pampa Norte Biotricity still in possession. Ganzi coming in for the challenge. Nicely turned around here by Javajol. Oh, nicely outplayed. Now then, he's got Wakas at the front door. He's going to have to start getting out of the starting blocks. Here we go now then. Can Wakas put one up? Oh, he avoided. Well, he's got a piece of that hook. Once again, you see, you don't have to look far, and he's there, Castagnola. Little backhand shot, intercepted by Jesse Bray. Alongside the boards they come, right underneath the commentator's booth here. And that ball will go over the sideboards, and I think that is the first change of possession we've actually had.
Yeah, I believe it's the second. I think one early one earlier with Jesse Bray when he passed it down, but this is going to be in favor of Casablanca. A nice play by Bartley, bounced it off the opposing team's horse. Flipped it up in the air, and if it goes off of their horse, the possession changes, and Jesse Bray's going to drop one in 120 every time.
Falabella will be the recipient. Castagnola a bit too far out to pick that one up. Now let's look at the clock. We're down to the last 45 seconds of play. It would be nice to see Pampa Norte finishing strong here and pick one back and also get that magical number 13. But again, Tomacho Pierre is teeing up one more chance, one more run here for Castagnola. Can he make it 16 and can he make it 11 goals? Well, I'm pretty sure he can. There it is. So another, a hat trick to say the least. 3 goals again to 0 in favour of Casablanca. The overall score then 16 goals to 12. Again, 3 unanswered goals. You said it yourself, Dale. They need to work on that a little bit coming when they come back into the next tournament. So a cracking game. Casablanca, as I say, well done, Grant Ganzi, Tomacho Pieris, Jesse Bray and Barto Castagnola. And Dale is already in situ to bring you now, dear viewers, the stats, the end of match stats here of this All-Star Challenge game.
Thank you, Jan, Eric Frank, as always, and thank you for joining us once again. As you said, a cracking game here, back and forth, and the sleeper team, as I always say, this Pampa Norte Biotricity team, they always surprise you. They were 23 last year, 20 this year, but always giving you a test, a true test, a few little minor things they got to clean up. Let's go through the stats. 16-12 our final, and here's the big stat: 25 shots taken by the Casablanca team, only 9 taken by Pampa Norte Biotricity. So they'll get that going a little bit. Knock-ins, 3 by Casablanca, 9 by Pampa Norte Biotricity, but that makes sense based on the shots shooting. Throw-ins, Casablanca, they edged them out a little bit, but only by 4, 12-8 there at the end. And then fouls committed, and that was closer than we thought. But the difference was it was 9 committed by Casablanca, 11 committed by Pampa Norte Biotricity, but Casablanca gave up a bunch of penalty 5s, 5 A's and 5 B's, and they gave up 2 penalty 4s, and a penalty 3, so that's not bad, but 7 open goals given up to the Casablanca team by Pampa Norte, so they just got to get that a little cleaned up. And then we went on as they went on to think, so it went down. So very close stats there towards the end. So thank you for joining us once again. For Jan, Eric, Frank, I'm Dale Schwetz. I speak for everyone here at CTV Sports. I say thank you for making us the leaders of polo broadcasting. And always remember, here at CTV Sports, we love the polo.